Welcome to another episode of Golden Heart Pirates at the Lounge. I am your Captain Waffle here, and today we have a special guest, Auzomatik, Austin Gravely, otherwise known as the owner of THUMP, co-owner of THUMP, actually. And, well, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Honestly, it's been a great day. I'm super happy. It's been a wonderful time getting to record and hang out with some good friends, spend some good time, talk about some good stuff. Speaking of good stuff to talk about, what you got going on?
Oh man, gearing up for this weekend. There's a festival that I'm playing on Friday at 1:25 a.m. Called Welcome to the Oasis. So that's gonna be pretty fun and interesting. Kind of I don't know, like a bunch of friends getting together and playing some music and
Sounds like a good time to me, man.
Out in the outdoor areas, you know, like I figure summer, we've kind of had like, you know, a pretty mild fall going into it. Chill. So it's just like, yeah, I might as well just try to take advantage of what we got.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely, indeed. So being the co-owner of THUMP, tell me a little bit more about THUMP, the Heaviest Unified Music Project.
Yeah, that's what it stands for, the Heaviest Unified Music Project. It's something that it's pretty much me and Justin, aka Hazambe, local producer and DJ. It's kind of our baby that's kind of grown into an infant now.
It's definitely toddling around, that's for sure.
It's like it's a toddler. It's like learning how to walk a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing that at the Knitting Factory for a little over 3 years now.
Yep.
And now, because the Knitting Factory is still closed due to the pandemic, but shout out to the Knitting Factory. They are the lounge at the end of the universe, which is where we're at right now, is gracious enough to give THUMP a home,
mm-hmm.
which we're very fortunate and thankful to have.
Absolutely, it is a wonderful home indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And THUMP is definitely getting towards its toddler stage for sure. I've been helping you out with it for the past like year and a half now.
Yes, you have.
It's honestly been a really interesting journey to be able to come from throwing shows that are big stage names at the Knitting Factory, and then to come here and just have some local shows and just some live casts that are going off, some live streams to be able to still keep the music alive, to keep the energy alive, and to keep people hopefully wanting more, because we're going to go back to having some bigger shows here in the next year. Provided the pandemic is over, we can all hope. I'm hoping 2021, please send it good this year. Please, please.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, 2021 is the, I mean, I feel like the floodgates are going to open back up a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that a lot of people are, you know, kind of discouraging others to like throw shows and stuff like that. But I got to give it up to the lounge, you know, as far as just like taking temperatures and having sanitation stations mm-hmm. and wearing masks, you know, throughout. Like we've definitely kept it safe, and on top of that, minimal capacity
mm-hmm.
To keep everything safe, so that, you know, we can still have some people in here enjoying, you know, kind of the live music aspect, but also just kind of keeping the lounge at the end of the universe, you know, afloat,
mm-hmm.
Because a lot of just mom and pop, you know, local establishments are closing their doors because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I say, yeah, your Walmarts and your, you know, whatever, they're gonna survive. They're gonna be just fine. But what about the little guy, you know?
Yeah.
And what about, like, for me, you know, like being a professional DJ and, you know, promoter, that's my job. That's how I pay rent and,
mm-hmm.
you know, feed myself. So yeah, like I'm gonna do whatever I can to throw shows safely and you know, just the best that I can with what we got.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of doing whatever you can, if you would like to support the lounge, we've got some links down in the description, www.loungeboise.com. They've got some shows listed there, as well as some awesome T-shirts and some other cool things that are going on. So check them out and be sure to lend a hand and support. Keeping small venues alive is an amazing thing to be able to do right now because, as Oz had mentioned, there are quite a few that have closed their doors at this point, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately is also the way that the cookie crumbles, because at the moment, everybody's kind of broke. And it's save starving artists, save starving artists. And just
Definitely.
as well, we've also got the Golden Heart Pirate Shop, so check the links down below as well, so that way you can support your wonderful pirate captain, so that way I can continue to do some amazing stuff like this, and we'll have some amazing things going on here in the next year. I'm really excited for it. So, back to the music. As far as being a professional DJ and actually mixing for people, you do weddings, shows, and all sorts of other fun stuff. What inspired you? What got you into mixing?
Well, I mean, I've been pretty much in the rave scene since I was about like 16. So I was kind of there from like kind of the resurgence, like basically the emergence, I guess, of, you know, the just throwing shows at like abandoned warehouses and stuff like back in the day. And I just, you know, I looked at the DJs and I was just like, I want to do that, but I want to do it in my own way. And so I kind of just like, I started, you know, just like I saved up and got a pair of decks, got some vinyl, you know, all different genres, just like some drum and bass, some trance, and whatever, and just tried to mix it all together. And I got a couple battle records too, which is just a bunch of different samples. And that's kind of where I really like fell in love with it, was just like the turntablism, like scratching aspect. And that's kind of where I really cut my teeth and carved out, you know, a career out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely won a few awards from some local places here around Boise. I know you've toured with a couple of people as well. Who have you toured with, actually?
Oh man, I've so I basically,
the list goes on, right? But
yeah, I
give me
mean,
like your top
it's
3 favorites.
Top 3 favorites. Well, I would say as far as tours go, the last one that I did with Axiom from Earthlings Entertainment, it was special because I actually produced a couple of the tracks on that album that we were touring, and so that was really special. Tech 9 was one of my first big tours, and that was, you know, that was definitely baptism by fire, so to speak, because you know, it's just like you basically have to play the same set the same way every time, you know. So
right.
But yeah, I mean, even just locally, you know, like, you know, Nightmare, A-Track, man, the list goes on and on. Nas,
right?
You know, so
it just keeps going, but that's the best part, is that it keeps going. And with continuing to throw thumps and bring major headliners here to Boise and continuing to send it, leads me to another question for you. Here in the next couple of years, like say 3 to 5, right? Where do you want to see Thump at?
Well, I thought that we were on a really good trajectory. Our last show at the Knitting Factory was Minnesota, and I think like our goal for 2020 was to definitely like diversify as far as genres and try to capture, you know, a lot of different you know, sensibilities and tastes, and so I would like to continue that, like just keep it very diverse and you know, but also eventually, you know, when it's safe or whatever, you know, do like a festival or like maybe a drive-in, you know, rave. We've been talking about doing that, but the timing's got to be right, and there's a lot that goes into it. You can't just say, hey, I want to throw a show and then have people show up. Like there's a lot in terms of, you know,
I mean, technically you can, but people might not show up for it. So.
well, you want to give them the most unique and best experience that you can. So with that being said, you definitely want to, and I think that's kind of the success of Thump, is we care about what we do. Like it's a passion project.
Right.
Like we care about like having our, you know, just everybody coming together, and like we're kind of DJs first and promoters second. So we've been on the other side of it, and just try to like curate, like just give, you know, a lot of the local cats, and shout out to all the local artists that have played Thump. You know, definitely appreciate you guys. But
so
just,
much love there.
Just having a platform that people like identify with. Yeah, big heart hands. just having a platform that people identify with, and we consider it more like a family that you can belong to, hence like the unity in Thump. And it's really just having that platform and being able to give, you know, a lot of these local artists like their break or a big, you know, opportunity that they normally wouldn't otherwise have.
Right.
Is that's pretty rewarding, and I think that it helps grow the scene as a whole. So
It really does, and being able to continue to create an environment for those who want to get into the music industry, to be able to come out and not only practice but showcase their talents and be able to experience what they do in front of a larger crowd, is honestly, it's a really unique way to be able to do it, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of people are grateful for, whether they think about it or not, and mostly that's geared towards those that are DJs and producers and promoters that have the ability to continue to showcase their stuff to be able to send it out further.
Yep.
Now, speaking of being a DJ and a producer and a promoter, right? If you were to look at somebody who might be in the audience here today and tell them some advice, some kind of a tip on how they can do better, how they can continue to move forward to be a DJ, to be able to produce their own music, what would you say to them?
Well, in terms of just like I feel like my success in being able to sustain this as like a career and whatnot, and be able to get, you know, more gigs coming through, I would say my biggest advice is say yes. Say yes to everything. I don't care if it's a wedding. I don't care if it's a bar mitzvah. Like, just say yes to everything, because even if it doesn't matter what you're getting paid, like that experience is going to take you further than a paycheck, and you're going to be able to diversify your skill set, and you'll be able to accept more of those gigs. And I mean, I will say that I can throw a rock and it would land on a DJ, you know, a whatever, that kind of just stays in their own realm and whatnot. But I think that kind of the key to sustaining that is just say yes, and just like be willing and open to any and every opportunity that comes your way, because that is going to other opportunities will follow. And I think that don't get discouraged. Like, I've been at this for 15 plus years, and
Definitely never give up.
I've had to never give up. I've also had to pay my dues, and which is a part of it, you know. That just comes with like gaining experience and getting to that kind of level, you know. Yeah, like it's not going to happen overnight, but just keep with it, because at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't be where I am if I would have hung it up, you know, a long time ago. So
and you definitely had an opportunity to hang it up ago. I think it was 5-10 years back. You were paralyzed from the neck down, and coming back from that's absolutely insane. Would you be willing to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So I mean, we've all kind of I was kind of in a dark place at that time, and it was just a freak accident. I came home one night, and I was drumming on my drum set, and I turned the light on, and the light burns out, and so I can't see, and I kind of shuffled my feet, and I tripped into the kick drum and fell directly into the cymbals, and the cymbals severed my spine. C2 and C3 had a spinal fusion and was laid out in the hospital for months, and they didn't know if I was going to walk again or anything like that. And I told the nurse, I had her shave a mohawk into my head just to, you know, fully just send it, you know, just to get in that mindset. And that was kind of, I was like, no, I'm going to stand up today. And I did. And then it was a long journey, about almost 2 years of just physical and occupational therapy. I'm still partially paralyzed in my fingers. I can't move them very, very fast, which is kind of ironic because, you know.
Yeah, but you still fire with the fingers on a DJ.
It's
like
all
on a
in the
controller.
wrist. You know what I mean? I got a good wrist, but yeah, it was a long journey of occupational and physical therapy to get back to where I was. But it's just, it's mind over matter is what matters.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping a positive mindset and knowing that there is no option but to get back on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was able to, like, I didn't even really care about my legs. Like, I just wanted my hands back because I could DJ in a wheelchair,
Right.
And I just wanted to get back to what I love to do and what I feel like I was meant to be doing. And once I was able to get back to it, I hit the ground running and haven't stopped since.
Yeah. And you keep going. And it's one of those things that's why we say never give up, is because even when it's so dark and dismal, if you keep moving forward, eventually you'll find that light. You'll be able to continue on that same path, on the path that you want to be able to get on. And even if you stumble and fall, if you trip and fall flat on your face, get yourself back up. Keep moving forward. Because it is in those moments that we stumble, it is in those times that we falter, that we often learn the greatest lessons that allow us to better accomplish our path, to be able to achieve our goals.
Absolutely.
And the most beautiful thing about that is the fact that we, as humans, our minds are designed in order to be able to allow us to seek our goals. If you set a goal and you positively believe that you can achieve it, you will. I believe the best way to put that one is whether you believe you can or you believe you can't. You're right.
You're right.
100% of the way.
And to quote the Pixar classic, from Finding Nemo, Dory, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Yeah.
And it's just like you're gonna. I mean, as far as Thump goes, like that didn't happen overnight. I mean, Justin and I ran Turnt Up Tuesdays at the Eclipse in Garden City.
I remember that place.
Which we'd have like maybe 10 people there. But we learned a lot and learned kind of what not to do, but also what to do, like what works and what doesn't. So let your L's stand for lessons, like they're not, it's not failures. It's basically just learning from that, and kind of just like moving forward and just constantly just like focusing on your craft and what you do and not really worrying about what everybody else is doing and just kind of like just keep moving forward. Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
So
just keep swimming. But swimming forward then, got any plans for Halloween?
Halloween. Yeah. So big plans for Halloween. I don't know if anybody on THUMP Fam, the Facebook group that we have, has seen, but we always change the banner or whatever to kind of tease the next thing. So Halloween night, happy to announce that at the lounge at the end of the universe, we are going to be doing THUMP Armageddon.
All right.
So straight up end of the world. It's going to be a costume, party, 2 levels, so upstairs and down. Plenty of room to social distance, but also have a good time on Halloween.
And plus, it's Halloween, so everybody's going to be wearing masks anyways.
Exactly, yeah. Just incorporate your mask into your costume, like.
Pretty much.
I don't know. But, yeah, so very excited about that. There will be more information on that. The event page should be up probably by this weekend.
All right.
And then, so.
And we'll have some links posted down in the description below for that for you guys.
Yep.
That way you can check out the event and some other Thump shenanigans that have gone on.
Yeah.
So that we'll be able to hopefully get you out here and hang out for a little bit. It'll be a good time, I promise.
Definitely. Yeah, it's going to be basically just spooky and scary and basically just the end of the world, like basically smoke them if you got them, you know what I mean? Like, this is it.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
I feel fine too. We'll see how long that lasts.
You know what? I'm gonna continue to wash my hands. I'm gonna continue to use hand sanitizer, wear a mask, social distance appropriately.
Absolutely.
It's like Swiss cheese, right? If you put a bunch of pieces of Swiss cheese in a row together, yeah, there are still holes and some pretty big ones, but if you keep stacking them up, those holes aren't gonna line up, so all the little bits are gonna get caught up. So with each individual aspect, wearing a mask, washing your hands, which you should be doing anyway. If you don't wash your hands when you come out of the bathroom, you gross.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
But wearing masks, washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, trying to social distance, and especially in venues, the biggest place for spread of germs is going to be in those pathways where people are walking back and forth in between. So when you're sitting down, you're not as at big of a risk for exposure as you are when you're perhaps passing by like 10 other people in the middle of a crowded space.
Yeah,
and that's
which
why I
we have-
genuinely appreciate the lounge for all of their social distancing protocols and everything that they've been doing in order to make this a wonderful experience. And like I said, if you want to support them, check them out at loungeboise.com. There will be links posted in the description, so not to worry at all about that. So with that being said then, my friend, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
All right, it's a doozy. You ready?
Okay.
You ready? You sure you're ready?
I think I'm ready.
All right, all right. Sailing at the head of your vessel, pirate captain on the high seas. What is her name? If you could name your own pirate ship, what would it be?
All right. So I've come up with, I think I'm just gonna go with, I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and just go with my DJ moniker,
All right.
which actually came about. Auzomatik started back in the Halo 2 days,
All right.
which might kind of date me a little bit, but yeah.
I mean, if that dates you, that dates me too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
well,
That's what the
so
meow meow get pow pow.
So yeah, that was the first time that, you know, I needed a gamer tag for Xbox Live, and I just went, everybody calls me Oz. That was just kind of my nickname, and I stuck with it. And I always liked rocking the SMG, you know, or the assault rifle or whatever, and so, which is an automatic, and so I just put Oz and automatic.
All right,
Auzomatik.
Auzomatik, it works.
So the SS Auzomatik. I'm gonna go like basically just.
You know what? That's fine. What would it look like though? Would it be like a Halo-style like battleship kind of a thing, or you got like a specific design in your head? Because I'm imagining there being like a giant warthog on the front of it, just like a
Yeah.
mounted turret cannon, and the whole thing just kind of looks like, I don't know, either one of the Marine ships or like with like some Covenant details to it.
I think I would go with like an airship actually.
All
So
right.
kind of like Shield, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Avengers style, where it could be on the water or the land.
That's
But
fair
yeah,
point.
definitely Halo. I mean, there would be like a Warthog on there, just for, you know,
Just for adventure and shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I don't know. I think that, yeah, I'm gonna go with just that. I've been playing a lot of Master Chief Collection lately, so maybe that has like something to do with it, just like that nostalgia factor. So
You know what? The nostalgia is great. Well, with that
Yeah.
being said, then, my friend, this has been Auzomatik, the co-founder of THUMP and a good friend. Once again, I am Captain Waffle, and if you do me a favor, like and subscribe to the like the video and subscribe to the channel, and check out GoldenHeartPirateshop.com. And well, until next time, pirates, Captain Waffle out.